Hi all. This video is about the chatbot application that I've built. So it has been actually committed under this GitHub URL. So I'll start briefly about the architecture of the application. So it is actually hosted in SSD nodes using Docker Compose. So a bunch of Docker containers are used. Actually, it is fronting like that, fronted by Nginx in a reverse proxy mode. It also has authentication through another proxy called OAuth proxy. Clearcloak is there for the authentication, and then that is backed by another Node.js web application that serves the HTTP requests that is coming from the client side. You'll get to know more about the chatbot, like the front end page and all that. I'll talk more about it. And then it goes into another Python 3.8 based microservice which is called LLM app. That is containerized also. It will be actually generating the large language model related content. It uses Auto3 API with Amazon Bedrock. So where the Bedrock or Amazon is used is just in the Bedrock situation where the Auto3 is actually making a remote HTTP call into Bedrock to fulfill its AI request. So that is brief about how the architecture is. I will also show a slide demo of the application. This is how it looks. Not a lot of fancy look of it, but let me show the authentication piece in an incognito window. So if you go here, it will take you to the authentication page, right? And then log in there, and then I'm logging in. So now you have the bot application, but I'll still use the other one which I was showing there. So I've actually built multiple knowledge bases. So when it comes to the code, I will explain. I'll show the basic chat application. It's nothing much. Basically, underneath it is using a particular Heroku model in Bedrock. When no knowledge base is being selected here, you can make a generic search like what is the capital of Sri Lanka, right? So with the architecture that I explained before, this is the HTML page that is served, and the web server receives and it will relay that request to LLM app. In turn, it will make an invocation to Bedrock and the result is returned. So the other one is I also have, let me scroll down a bit. So I have knowledge bases that I have built. First one is the simple Amazon 2003 10K report sample. I'll show that also. How did Amazon do in 2023? So yeah, that's basic answering based on the knowledge base that I have built there. Similar to that, I have the second knowledge base being built, certain railroad domain related PDF documents. Actually, a user manual that was available about a particular application, which one of my friends gave. So I'm not talking about the details of it, but some context about it, how how to do scheduling. Uh, so I'm going to search against my second knowledge base. So based on context provided the documents, so this is how to do scheduling. So what I have done is I've just run this through the domain specialist, whether he's getting the right answers and all that. So that is how it has been done. Then I'll go to the knowledge base part. Um, there are, so this is the structure of the application. Um, so the outer application is basically nothing but the Node.js server, right? And then it is making LLM server, calls to the LLM server. These are all like Docker host endpoint names. It's not hard coded. If you actually go to the deployment folder and go to the Docker compose file, all these are configured. So part of the DevOps strategy and all that are very, very much scripted out. So nothing like hand coded or anything. So all these things, such as like even AWS keys that are needed for the Boto connectivity, all these exist here. And I also have a knowledge base folder. And then even things such as configurations are actually externalized. If I go to the Python app, Python folder, go to configs, right? These are externalized. So I'm actually using a Postgre database with a vector plugin to store the knowledge base. So I build the knowledge base, which I'm going to discuss how I do it. So different folders are created. I think future task is for me to create different folders with the screen when users upload documents or upload to S3 or something like that. But at this point, I have to create a folder and then upload those documents and issue some REST call to the web application. I'll show that code as well. This Postgres controller, right? So in the Postgres controller, if I walk you through, if you call the load documents and passing, so it will also delete any documents. If the delete flag is yes, it will delete anything from the Postgre database. It will do the chunking with an OLAP, right? And then use Titan embedding model calling bedrock and generate the embedding for each of the chunk. If the delete was set, it'll, like I said, it will delete from the documents, and it will be against the knowledge base, specific knowledge base, whether it is KB1, KB2, something like that. So that also is being passed in the HTTP post. Let me find where it is. Yeah, I think the folder path. Yeah, folder path is where it is. And then you can see the embedding. So this embedding is passed to it. So when it is inserted, that vector related embedding that got returned from Titan model invocation, so that will be stored. So this is how the knowledge base is built. So any PDFs that are there will be broken into pages, and then it will be loaded into the document table. So let me show this as well. This is the Postgre database, right? And the specific vector version of it is used. I also have, I think, yeah. So I also have this create extension vector and this. So this is a very cost-effective way of doing the vector database. So that is the building of the knowledge base part. So I actually run this command to do it. Like I can call it with this load documents. I think it's the last one. Let me see. Yeah, load documents. Yeah, here. Even this is correct. See, file path is KB1. I think I make it. Yeah, if the delete flag is on, it will delete, others it will keep on appending. So that's how I build the knowledge base. And then I'll show you another method that is there called ask. So I put it ask one. I'll tell you what the reason is, because I initially implemented it with files without the Postgre database. So in this case, it will fetch top 3 relevant documents based on the embedding. See, embedding, this is a specific operator in Postgre after the vector plugin is put. So it will fetch the result, and then that result will be passed. With this, you can see the system message giving some sort of a guardrail kind of a thing. Don't answer anything outside this question kind of thing. And with this, that response is what you saw. So that is streamed back to the client. I'll just briefly show the 5.6 implementations is also similar. So you can load the documents, but it will not persist it. You have to do it within the same session. It will be persisted in the in-memory 5.6 database. So that's why I have load documents and ask here, and the other one has load one and ask one. So what I'm actually offering for the project, and the UI is built on top of load documents one and ask one. So that's pretty much about it. Let me do the DevOps part of it. So here in the deployment folder, I'll show the code on the DevOps part as well. So I have an environment variable that has like all the passwords and all that, which I'm not going to share here. So if I want to build, I'll call build all. So this will build the web Docker and the LLM Docker. And then we'll push it to a Docker host that I have. So it will push both the chatbot app as well as the LLM app. So it will push both of them. And then Go Remote actually I've used to remote deploy into the server, which I discussed in the architecture diagram. So I have combined, actually all I have to do is this. So I consider I have the complete DevOps end to end in this case, because there was no need for me to trigger it with GitLab pipeline, but certainly I would like to do it at a later point. So when I run this, it will build front end and back end, pull the environment variable so that I can access the remote servers and all that, and then push the Docker images, and then also make a remote release in that server. That was using remotely executing the commands over that. So I'll run it. Hopefully this will work. So it's building back end and the front end, both of them. It's been built right now. Let's see, take a little bit of time. I think pushing about a 300-400 MB image. Sorry, let me run it again. There was some issue. Let me run it on a brand new window. Let me run it. Yeah, now it's building. So it is building the, I think it's the front end. Yeah, NPM part is the front end, not the front end, the chatbot app. It has a Node.js app, and front end is actually an HTML page in there. Oh, I forgot to talk about it. While it is going, I will talk about the HTML part of it. So I showed briefly the server.js and in the public folder. So this is the page, that chatbot page that you're seeing. So I've kind of hard-coded the 3 knowledge bases, but the future work is like this to be rendered like with some authentication and authorization, maybe some part of an authorization per organization, whatever knowledge bases that are assigned to a particular customer, particular user, right? Something like that we can do it. And then it's plain JavaScript. I didn't want anything fancy, but this does use echo is the message, so it sends the echo message to the Node.js backend with this encoded question and what the knowledge base is, and also some sort of a limit that have actually hard coded that that is actually associated with the tokens that is being used. Let's see, it's doing the Python building part, so take a bit of time. It took 16 seconds. In the previous one it's about a minute plus on this one. And then it will push it to a Docker repo that I have. This 4532 IP is a Docker repo that I actually maintain for my projects. Once it is pushed, it will also pass SSH into the remote server, and then run a remote build command that will delete the Docker images, shut down the instance, and then delete the images and pull the images from the repo and then make the release. It is pushing now. With the interest of time, I think I will stop here. It is giving some time out, maybe. So this is it, and then you can select the. I don't have anything on the knowledge base 3, so if I don't have anything about it, like tell me about Amazon's performance in 2024. I don't think it has it, so ideally it should say that it doesn't have knowledge about it. It is telling that, right? So with the interest of time, I think I'll stop it here. So thanks for watching. So this is my advanced LLM RAG using a vector database. So that vector database for the advanced RAG, kind of the chatbot. So thank you.